Hello, I'm Salimbao. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Kung anong oras naman po ito mapanood. So, I'm MSP 1B and we will explore Gestalt psychology. It is a holistic approach to perception. It is a school of thought that emphasizes the importance of understanding how we perceive and organize the world around us. It's a fascinating field that can help us understand how we see, think, and learn. So next slide, we have the key figures and contributions. Oh, sorry. We have Max Wertheimer. He is the founder of Gestalt psychology. Experiment on apparent motion demonstrated the importance of perception as a whole rather than individual elements. Emphasis on the whole argued that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. His year was 1880 to 1943. Also, we have Wolfgang Kohler. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I hope I'm correct. 1887 to 1967. With the ape experiments, he studied problem solving, abilities to apes, and introduced the concept of insights. Gestalt principles develop principles such as the law of pregnance or the simplicity, the figure ground, relationship, and closure. From 1887 to 1967. We also have Kurt Kafka, 1886 to 1941. He applied Gestalt principles, extended Gestalt ideas to various fields, including child development and education. Emphasis on perception, focus on the role of perception in shaping our experiences and understanding of the world. So we have the timeline of Gestalt psychology. Early 1900s, Vert, Wertheimer conducts his experiments on apparent motion, laying the foundation of Gestalt psychology. So 1920s, Kohler publishes his research on ape intelligence, introducing the concept of insight. 1930s, Kafka applies Gestalt principles to various fields, expanding the reach of the theory. So 1940s, Gestalt psychology gains popularity in the United States, influencing fields such as psychology, education, and art. Coexistence with other theories, we have behaviorism. Gestalt psychology challenge behaviorist views by emphasizing the importance of mental processes and subjective experiences. We also have psychoanalysis. Gestalt psychology differed from psychoanalysis in its focus on immediate experience and the role of perception rather than unconscious processes. We also have cognitive psychology. Gestalt psychology influenced cognitive psychology by emphasizing the importance of mental processes and the organization of information. Next slide. Principles of Gestalt psychology. We have the figure ground. We perceive we perceive objects as figures against a background. Closure, we tend to complete incomplete figures or patterns. Similarity, objects that look alike are perceived as belonging together. Proximity, objects that are close together are perceived as belonging together. Pragnance, the law of simplicity, which states that we tend to perceive things in the simplest way possible. Next slide, influence and applications of Gestalt principles. We have perception and cognitive processes, explore how Gestalt principles have shaped our understanding of perception, problem solving, and learning. Applications in therapy and design discuss the application of Gestalt principles in therapy, where therapists focus on the client's immediate experiences and the importance of awareness. Also, explore how Gestalt principles have influenced design fields such as graphic design and architecture. So we have the perception, therapy, design. We also have criticism and limitation. It addressed the criticism of Gestalt psychology, such as its emphasis on subjective experience and its limited scope in explaining complex human behavior. So next slide. Criticisms and limitations of Gestalt psychology. We have subjective emphasis. Gestalt psychologists focus on subjective experiences, was criticized for being too subjective and lacking rigorous scientific methods. We also have limited scope. Gestalt psychology was criticized for having a limited scope in explaining complex human behavior, failing to address factors like individual differences and cultural influences. So, impact of Gestalt psychology on psychological thought. Excuse me. It has a significant impact on the development of psychology. It, its emphasis on perception and cognitive processes has influenced our understanding of how the brain works. It has led it has also led to the development of new therapeutic approaches such as gestalt therapy which focuses on the individual's experiences in the present moment. So that's it. Thank you for listening.